I didn't become a health coach because I stopped believing in medicine. I became one because the years inside medicine showed me how much more there was to understand about the person behind the symptoms. My path into healthcare was pretty simple. I loved biology, and I wanted a career built around understanding the human body. I didn't want to go to medical school, so when I discovered physician assistant profession in my first year of college, it felt like it was the right fit. PAs evaluate, they diagnose illnesses, they build treatment plans, and work directly with people. And that was the path that I wanted. My training taught me how to think clinically, how to take a health history, run an exam, read labs, land on a diagnosis, and a plan. In family medicine, I cared for people across every stage of life, from infants to seniors, treating everything from infections to medication management. I also worked in orthopedics and pain management, and later rounded in assisted living facilities, managing care for people in the later stages of life. And that last one changed something in me. I watched people who were medically stable, but had quietly lost their mobility, their independence, their mental clarity. And I kept wondering what happened in the decades before she got here. Were there earlier chances to protect her strength and her mind, not just extend her years? I want to be clear, I have a deep respect for conventional medicine. It saves lives and is an essential ally. But working inside, it also showed me its limits. Because as a practitioner, I might have had 15 minutes with somebody to do a history, exam, diagnose, and plan. And there usually isn't time to ask what's actually happening in her life, what she's been exposed to, how is she sleeping, what's her stress like living in her body. Labs are valuable, but they're a snapshot. They don't explain why a woman still doesn't feel like herself. And while medication could absolutely be necessary, managing a symptom is not the same as understanding what's driving it. And that realization made me want a wider lens. Around that same time, I was restless in my own career, moving between roles, hoping that the next one would feel more aligned. And then my life took an unexpected, deeply personal turn, and that pulled me away from the clinical path entirely. At that time, it felt like a disruption, but looking back, it gave me space to ask what I'd actually been trained to see and what I hadn't. I had already started studying natural health through Trinity School of Natural Health, and from there I kept going. Nutrition, movement, flexibility, body work, meditation, nervous system regulation, and cellular detoxification. My movement training introduced me to the lymphatic system, an entire piece of the body story that my clinical education had barely touched. And I realized that I'd been given real tools, just not the whole map. So I built the rest of it myself. What looked like leaving medicine was actually an expansion of it. I kept everything my clinical training gave me and added the pieces that let me finally see the body as one connected system instead of a separate set of components. And that's the work that I do now through my own practice, COR Vitality. I love working with women, capable, responsible women who've spent years building their career, running their households, and holding everyone else together. She might not identify with an age or a diagnosis, she just knows that her body isn't responding the way that it used to. She's still eating well, still showing up, still trying, but what she doesn't have is a clear way to understand how it all connects. And I understand that gap personally. There was a period in my own life where I lived almost entirely in my head, dealing with anxiety that I didn't fully understand and staying in situations that were quietly costing me before I had the ability to set boundaries that I needed. And my own healing taught me that the body often knows the truth before the mind is ready to admit it. And that's the work at COR Vitality. Nourishment, sleep, detox, movement, nervous system regulation, alongside the beliefs and patterns that keep the body stuck in protection mode. So if you're a woman who's been doing everything right and still don't feel like yourself, if your labs keep coming back normal but you know something's off, I want you to hear this clearly. Your body isn't broken, it's responding. And once we understand what it's responding to, we can start building your energy, your clarity, and your trust in yourself again. Becoming a health coach was never me stepping away from medicine. It's where everything I learned up till now was always leading to.